I hope and insist it will not be asked in the exam. It is not having so much of importance. Though, just for sake of completion, the one of the way of Z-bus building to the singular transformation. It's very trivial, 2-3 line step. I mean 2-3 line stuff. But just to make you recall, any network we are having some nodes and some branches. So in power system these nodes are nothing but the buses and these are the lines. So we know the complete incidence matrix we are forming. Nodes are represented in that way and branches are in that way. So we fill the entries like if any branch is incidenting in any node, and if it is entering to the node, the plus one, oh sorry, the minus one is entitled for that node and branch pair. I mean, for one C would be given as, for one B branch is entering to the first node, so the entry will come over here as minus, as plus, sorry, as minus one. And in a other way round, if any branch is leaving the node, so this C is having the entry as plus 1 corresponding to the first node. In the same way, if any branch, let's F is not incident on the node 1 or bus 1, so the entry corresponding to this would be 0. So in that way we are having the complete incident matrix in that way. Similarly, reduced incident matrix is nothing but any of the node is taken as a reference and we omit that node, we are having the reduced incident matrix, that simply called the incident matrix. And this incident matrix is having a peculiar relation. I mean, it is the KCL, though it is as obvious as the name suggests, Kirchhoff current law, in which we are having the all the currents coming and going, the summation of the current coming and going on the same node is zero. I mean, conservation of charge. So in the same way, this incident matrix holds true for all those branch currents. Fine. I think it is quite obvious because it has been told you in the networks. So we are having the relationship as, and the another relationship, as we can easily perceive that A transpose these node or bus voltages, A transpose into bus voltages would be equals to the branch voltage. You can easily see in any of the graph. If you want, you can make, I mean, you can put this graph over here and you can write the equations. Suppose BC is nothing but B, I mean VC is nothing but V2 minus V1 or V1 minus V2. It depends upon you in what way you are taking the voltage. And similarly, if you write the equations, you will get this relationship that A transpose B V bus is equals to V branch. So now these all you need not to worry about, and you should not discuss all those things. These all are the basic concepts of networks. You have to start from here. Let's say we are having a power system scenario in which n buses except the reference bus, means there is a separate reference bus, and apart from that n buses are there. And then those that reference bus would be used as a reference for the A matrix, incident matrix. Say IB is all branch currents, the column matrix would be there, all the lines are there, and some current is flowing in all the lines, so that IB is the line current column matrix. Fine. So the size of that would be B cross 1, or the line number of line cross 1. And suppose Is is the source current injections at the bus or the node, right? And so obviously the size of that would be n cross 1. So you can easily see this. So we are having the nodal equations as IB plus IS, all the currents would be equals to admittance times branch voltages. See, now here this Y is the primitive admittance matrix. What do we mean by the primitive admittance matrix? Simply, we are having, suppose we are having 6 lines or 6 elements in the systems. So pertaining to the each line, whatever would be the admittance of that particular line would be considered as the element of that primitive admittance matrix. तो इस primitive admittance matrix का size क्या होगा, जितने भी मेरे buses हैं उसके हिसाब से. Fine.